We're still moving forward with the Bitwise and Ryan Rasmussen's crypto predictions for 2024. Prediction number 3, Coinbase's revenue will double, beating Wall Street expectations by at least 10x. Historically, Coinbase's trading volumes surge in bull markets, and we expect the same to happen again. Plus, they've launched a wide range of new products that are showing traction. So again, Bitwise and Ryan have gone deep down into the data in terms of Coinbase. What we have to understand, I think, about Coinbase, they are a slightly different animal from anything we've seen in the past. An easy way for us to understand what's going to happen, I guess, to the price of the stock and Coinbase, the company. One is, yes, their trading volume should surge because, again, as there's a bull market, as the price of Bitcoin goes up, which we've talked about it in predictions 1 and 2, as the price of Bitcoin, as the price of cryptos go up, there's going to be more trading, meaning their volumes go up, which means the way they make money, their revenue should go up because of that. They've launched other products. They're going to be a custodian for many of the ETFs we talked about in prediction number 2. They're going to be the custodian. They're going to get those fees. We are going to see Coinbase has launched SMA platform for you as financial advisors, meaning you might get to manage client assets using Coinbase as the custodian and exchange, which means they're going to get more fees there. So they're getting better distribution where it's not just Coinbase that has to go and try to get clients. It's Coinbase gets you as the advisor and you go get the clients to allocate to crypto using Coinbase as the custodian. Coinbase has launched for institutional investors. It's launched futures trading elsewhere in the world, outside of the US. So the things that they're doing outside of the US that obviously drive revenue for their company, regardless of where they are growing. But the other things Coinbase has done, of course, is they've launched Base, which is their layer 2 on top of Ethereum. They recently launched Project Diamond, which is a way for institutional investors through KYC and AML to launch tokenized versions on chain, to launch tokenized versions of funds or tokenized funds on chain. And these are ways that we as advisors, that Wall Street doesn't have a easy, neat way to understand how that affects the revenue, how that affects the value and price of Coinbase. And Coinbase doesn't really care. They're launching these because they know that they need to get these applications out there. This is how people are going to start adopting decentralized finance, adopting crypto. It's Coinbase saying, we've launched this platform, we've launched Base as this layer 2 so that you can make transactions very, very, very inexpensive and very fast, because they know that the adoption of crypto is what's going to drive the price of crypto assets. And they want to be on the forefront of not just what happens to the price of those crypto assets, because they want to help with the custody, they want to help with the trading, but they are going to find new ways to drive value. And I don't want to say necessarily just drive revenue, but drive value through the use of their layer 2, through the use of Project Diamond, which is going to allow for the tokenization of funds. And they're going to use their name, the fact that they're publicly traded in the US, the fact that they built this custodial platform that so many, the ultra high net worth, so many of the institutions that are custodying crypto use, the fact that they've built that, they're going to utilize that to drive other kind of narratives in the crypto space that most on Wall Street have not thought of. We think very often of how are they getting revenue? They're getting it from trading fees. They're getting it from people signing up for Coinbase One. They're getting it from custodial fees. But Coinbase is already venturing out into areas that are going to drive value later that we can't necessarily quantify right now in terms of revenue, in terms of income minus expenses or anything like that, because we've never had to value it before. We've never looked at the real value of a layer 2 decentralized blockchain system and how that translates into a relatively traditional Wall Street, financial company. We haven't done that. I assume that once regulators open up a little bit, Coinbase is going to move in more in the realm of things like lending, more being kind of like a bank in the crypto world. And remember, they have the ability to do things internationally that they can't necessarily do yet in the US, meaning they can test them out. They can test them out like Project Diamond is being tested out in Abu Dhabi. They get to work on these things in other parts of the world. And once they open up in the US, that's where all the money is going to flow in. So talking about what's going to happen to the revenue of Coinbase is one thing, and that's great that we're talking about it. But if you understand what's happening with Coinbase, if you understand what they're doing building a layer 2, if you understand what they're doing building a platform for tokenization of funds, they are going out where value is being built that we can't necessarily, or we don't really have a good model to quantify yet. So talking about a doubling or 5x or whatever they said, I think a 10x of Wall Street expectations, I think is relatively short-sighted in terms of understanding the value that Coinbase, the company, brings. And again, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not telling you need to go invest in it. And I apologize, I'm not telling you Ryan and Bitwise are being short-sighted. I think what they're telling us is, here's what most advisors advisors, here's what most people in TradFi and Wall Street understand about how publicly traded companies derive value. And much of that is you need your revenue to go up, you need your profits to go up, and that's going to flow through to the stock price. And what I'm saying is there's going to be much more that Coinbase is doing in the next year that goes well beyond trading fees. It goes well beyond their revenue that's going to drive the later value of Coinbase.